Hello. Okay. We're working on different intros to this, so that's what it is today. This is Walker Talks, our Walker Talk.
We still got to work on our intros.
Yeah, I've been toying around with like doing a recorded intro, like
a jingle or something.
Well, like a jingle, or like a lot of podcasts or TV shows have that like intro song kind of thing. But it's kind of, anytime I've tried to do it, it's like way cheesy. It feels so cheesy. It's like, hello, and I don't know. It's dumb. But anyway, this week was really good. It was a little bit more of a in the groove week, I feel like. I did 10 CADs a day all week, which is pretty big. I mean, that's a lot of CADs, a lot of designs. Brooklyn, tell us about your week.
It was my last week on Vivo, so Friday was officially the last day, and so I went, and they had like a little farewell party they have for everyone that leaves the show, and like a baby shower. They gave me like a Target gift card. I just have a good team. They're just really nice. And yeah, it was good. I tried to take two of my coworkers out, so my mentor Joe Mosier, and then one of the sculptors who's really good friends with Joe, Omar Smith. And I was like, okay, I'm paying for lunch. Like, I told you this. I've been telling you all week, like, I'm taking you out to lunch as a thank you for being my mentor. And anyway, so we go to this Italian place, and when they came out with the check, both of them, like, threw out their cards and, like, insisted on paying for it. I was like, no, I'm paying for this. Anyway, so I tried to be nice and give them a gift, but it didn't work. Yeah. But, yeah, it was good.
Brooklyn, you should have just robbed them so they couldn't have used their stuff.
Take their wallet.
Just no, we don't condone robbing people on this recording. Yeah, it's crazy. I think that it's been really cool that Brooklyn's been able to be on a show with somebody that is really... Joe Mosier is a really great mentor and a really well-known kind of person, and he's done a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's been a real blessing for Brooklyn to be able to be with him. To learn from him and work so closely with him. Yeah.
I wish I'm always telling him, like, you should get an Instagram and post your stuff, because he has some stuff on Google that's been posted for him of, like, his really early work, but nothing that he's done recently because he's so private. And I'm always like, just post your stuff so people will know who you are. It's, like, such a shame that people know who he is, I think, if they're in the industry, but a lot of people don't, and he really is, like, one of the best character designers, in my opinion, in the world.
Yeah.
So even some of the more, like, popular, famous ones, I just think that he draws circles around them. He's so good. And I just feel blessed to have learned from him.
It is really cool that she gets to do that. So, yeah. But now she's just kind of on call. So if they have projects, they'll give them to her.
Yeah. I'm assuming they'll still have stuff on Vivo. Like, when Monday comes, they'll probably be like, actually, we still need your help. Like, do these other characters or expression sheets.
Yeah. But technically, she's done with Vivo.
Yeah,
she's off the team.
Yeah, so bittersweet.
Yeah, but it's cool because that marks the year mark of her working on Vivo.
Yeah, almost exactly a year.
And so it's just cool to be, I don't know.
We've had such a good first experience.
Yeah, we're growing and stuff. So, yeah. So that was Brooklyn's week. My week again, really boring. Not boring, just normal. Then this weekend what was it? Friday. Friday we after everything we just kind of hung out. I got a new game for the Switch called Fire Emblem, and that was Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, on Friday, and I played that kind of late, actually, like really late. And Brooklyn was working on some other stuff, or probably reading stuff. Mm-hmm. Brooklyn reads a lot about like pregnancy things because she's just labor. So like present and it's just happening. And it
probably too much. I'm
right.
like getting a little overwhelmed.
But anyway, we both stayed up really late, and then I was right as we were going to bed at I don't know, like 1 o'clock or something like that. I was like, we have chapel cleaning tomorrow
at 8 a.m. I was like, I forgot about it.
And so, and anyway, so we got up. So yesterday morning at 8 a.m. at 7:30, got to the chapel at 8, and we vacuumed the chapel. And it was good. That's fun. Yeah.
I just get tired a lot quicker. I like
Brooklyn
vacuumed 2 rooms. I was like, I have to sit down.
Brooklyn is feeling the pregnancy burn. Like
I'm exactly 8 months today.
Yeah.
She's due in 1 month.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep, which will come up pretty soon. But we'll talk about it a little bit more in the baby update. But yeah, it's just like she's just really feeling it. Like getting bigger, getting tired faster. Getting hot. It's hot anyway, but like it was funny. We were in the car today, and I like turned the air on and like blasted it, and Brooklyn's like, "Oh, that feels so good." And it's hot outside, but even when it's hot outside, Brooklyn would probably be like, "It's a little too cold."
But now
and she's like, "Is this how you feel all the time?" And I was like, "Yes, this is how I feel all the time. I need that." Yeah. Anyway, So Brooklyn's feeling some empathy because
I am.
for me
it's hot
and being such a big person. So that's funny. Anyway, after we cleaned the chapel, we popped over to Ralph's, which is basically Smith's, and got a bagel and a jalapeno cheese roll and a donut and some orange juice and a big old thing of strawberries because they were on sale.
Yes.
Brooklyn's like, we have to put the card number in for this because otherwise it's $8. It's like $2.50, but otherwise it's $8. I was like, okay. And so we went to the beach after that and just kind of had breakfast and we walked there and I saw a guy fishing, and I've been really interested in fishing in the ocean recently. And so I was like, I'm gonna go talk to him, just ask him about like what he does and what. Anyway,
tips.
So I walked down and started talking to him, and basically the rest of the time we were there for 2.5, like almost 3 hours, and the rest of the time he was I basically just talked to him. We swam for a little bit, but most of the time it was just me talking to him, getting to know him, and like we didn't even talk that much about fishing. He just like started talking about like life and
he works for a lot of different production companies. He's worked for Sony. They like move trucks and equipment, and so anyways, we started talking about Sony, which was interesting.
Yeah, and he just
really friendly guy.
He was really friendly, and so we talked to him for a while. I got a couple tips on fishing though, and I'm feeling a lot better about that, which is good because we're probably going to go in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But that was...
We tried swimming, but
that's right.
The waves were so big and scary, and after I got kind of thrown around a little bit, I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, the waves were...
It would have been fine if I wasn't pregnant, but I was like, I can't do this.
The waves were really fun, and they were like just the right size where they're big, and you're kind of getting hit by them and stuff. But every 15th wave, there would be one that just stacked up, and easily been like from... Not from like the surface of the water, but from where you're standing, probably 8 or 9 feet tall.
Yeah. Easily.
Maybe even taller than that. So probably 6-foot waves from like the surface of the water. But they got kind of big. So yeah. Anyway. And yeah. It was fun though. I love the waves of the ocean.
And it was such a hot day that it like felt really good to be in the water. Because a lot of times the water here is just cold. Like, even though it's hot outside, it's like just cold water, but it felt so good. It felt really good.
Yeah. So that was our beach day, and then we came home and just relaxed the rest of the day.
Yeah. It was nice.
Yep. So that's basically what we did. And then, so as far as the baby update, Brooklyn brought up, it's just a month from today.
Yeah, so August 28th is when we're due.
Is when our baby is due.
Which is good, because I've been like holding my breath until... Today. Like the weeks where it's like, if she was born today, she'd be okay. And at this point, it's like she may have like really minor issues that wouldn't really be a problem with a little bit of extra care. And
right. So basically the baby is...
The baby's good.
Yeah. And And so I think when is next week we have a...
Yeah, this Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
We have a doctor's appointment.
This week we got a doctor's appointment, and then I think it's basically like weekly until or something like that. Pretty close. A couple more weeks, and then we're done. So it's just crazy, or we're just beginning, I guess.
Yeah.
Because the baby. Anyway, that's good. The other thing we have talked about is at the start of August we wanted to make sure that we had like everything ready to go if at any time the baby comes. So we want to have a car seat, we want to have, you know, like hospital bags put together and diaper bag, everything put together, so it's like, okay, we can go and have this baby at any time. And so we're like, okay, let's go get a car seat, and we want to get a car seat stroller kind of combo thing, so
Travel
that
system.
Yeah, so that the car seat can clip into the stroller, go into the car, and or the carrier can, and so we're like, hey, let's go to Target, let's do this. And we walked in, and there were so many like random options and like things, and we're like, wait, what do we need? Like, what is all of this? Kind of thing.
We have no idea.
It was just like every other baby shopping adventure that we've had. Is just like, why is there 1,000 different brands of this? Or like, why? Anyway, so we then just walked out because we're like, oh, we need to look into this a little bit more. But we'll probably get one in the next couple of days. Probably
Chantel and Jenna.
We like Marco Polo Chantel. We Marco Polo Jenna, and we're like, so what do you guys think about this? And then I talked to David Jellen's wife as well, and was like, what do you guys do? Anyway, we're just finding out. We'll probably get that pretty soon, but it's exciting.
Yeah,
almost there.
We've got pretty much everything. People have been so generous, and people in our ward have given us stuff, and just hand-me-downs, and it's really nice. We're mostly set.
Yeah, we're excited. But that's it for the baby. Baby's good and alive and kicking. And so that leads to the opinion segment. It's going to be a quick one and probably not super interesting to everyone. I'll start with the less interesting one so that you can think that there's something more interesting coming. And it'll keep you guys riveted until the more interesting thing happens after. The first one is a video game, and it's called Dark Souls 3. So Shad Christofferson just got home from his mission, and he and I, before he left, because he wasn't going to school anymore, he was just waiting till he left on his mission, basically. And I was in Rhode Island, where I was working part-time, and Brooklyn was working full-time, so it was like I was home a lot more. Anyway, Shad and I, we played a lot of Dark Souls 3. And the premise of and so Shad came back, and then Cody Christofferson, Shad's brother, went and got Dark Souls 3, so we're playing it all together again. But that just leads into Dark Souls 3 is a really good video game. Like, so the premise of it is there's a certain amount of story to it, but really the premise is that you're a character that is fighting your way through these levels of like demon type people or I don't know, just enemies. And then at a certain point you fight bosses, and the bosses in Dark Souls are the big, they're like really unforgiving, like pretty brutal. There's only one difficulty. You can't like make the game easier or harder kind of thing. It's you find some weapons and you work your way through it. But every time you kill an enemy, you collect souls from that enemy, and then you use those souls to upgrade yourself, leveling up, or upgrade your weapons, and it works as a currency as well. But if you die, those souls get dropped on the ground where you died, and all the enemies respawn. And if you can get back to them and pick them up, you get those souls that you dropped. But if you die before getting back to them, you lose all your souls. So that's kind of the premise of the game, and you're working towards a big thing in the end as far as story goes. But it is really fun. I think that like some of the monsters and some of the enemies can be a little scary, and some of the levels are a little scary. It's a very like macabre type, kind of like a dark medieval type setting. So there's a little bit of like a little bit of suspense around every corner, and some of the levels are different and stuff, but the enemies are really strong, and the fighting system is fairly difficult. But I think that for me, Dark Souls is just one of the greatest games, like 9 out of 10. I love playing it. I think it's more fun with people, but it's one of the games that was really hard to learn how to play. But as soon as I started getting it, it gave a real sense of accomplishment because it was so difficult that you like feel like you're really getting it and you really get the hang of it. So 9 out of 10. Brooklyn has played a total of like 3 minutes of that game just because I wanted to show her how hard it was, and that's all.
It's hard.
And it's hard. So, but that's good. So the other thing, and the potentially more exciting thing, it's not one I'm more excited about necessarily, but it's Umbrella Academy, and it's on Netflix, and it's based on a comic book, and it's pretty new. But the story, I like it. I liked it a lot. I watched it. It only took a couple of days. I got like really into it. There's only 10 episodes, but it was a really like the story itself was really intriguing, and the setting that they pull you into. It's kind of a superhero-esque thing, but set in a very normal world, and that made it really exciting and just really interesting to me. There's some time travel in it, and there's some things like that, and I feel like they just set up all of this stuff really well, and it's a fun but intriguing kind of mystery sort of thing. I don't know.
It was good. I didn't watch all of it, but I kind of followed along, especially towards the end.
Yeah.
But it was good.
I give it like a 7.5 out of 10 kind of thing. I wasn't, like, the ending of this season wasn't, I wasn't ultra satisfied with it, but I was really glad because I thought that I knew how it was going to end, like, pretty early on, but it changed. So it wasn't so tropey. It wasn't just, like, super, super predictable. I felt like there were some things. The actors, some of them are pretty well, like Ellen Page is in it, and she's probably the most well-known actor in it. Well, Mary J. Blige is in it too, but a lot of them are kind of like, they've been in less stuff, but there's a couple really good actors, and it's kind of fun. So I would probably recommend that if you're into superhero-y things. But yeah, anyway, it's all right. That's all. I feel like this one was scattered and that I wasn't like, I don't know. It's hot in our apartment, and I think it's affecting the way that I'm talking and thinking. But anyway, we love you, and that's all.
That's all, folks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.